Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to bring you today's video. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's get started. Jessica Cox opened her eyes to the world in 1983, but her world was not like most children's. She was born without arms. Unlike many children, she wasn't born to play games, write, or draw. However, her way of dealing with this situation was strong enough to offer the world a different perspective. Jessica's family, instead of focusing on her limitations, supported her unconditionally. Her parents taught her that she could participate in life just like other children and stand on her own 2 feet without depending on others. From a young age, they decided to raise Jessica not just as a child, but as an individual. This attitude helped her gain self-confidence and made her believe from an early age that challenges were not insurmountable obstacles, but hurdles that could be overcome. Jessica's childhood, like that of any other child, was filled with joy and laughter. While playing games with her friends at school and eating at home, she began her battle against the things that seemed difficult for a child born without arms. Tasks like walking, eating, and brushing her teeth became her challenges. However, she always found a different way. Thanks to her determination and perseverance, Jessica managed to live her daily life independently, without needing to rely on others. Her lack of arms was just a physical condition. There were no barriers in her spirit. From a young age, Jessica always sought different ways to overcome tough situations. For example, when writing, she started using her feet to hold the pen. When eating, she developed skills to skillfully use a knife and fork with her feet. With each step, by practicing to overcome obstacles, she advanced with great determination in every area of her life. Each small success made her a stronger individual and reinforced her self-confidence. The most significant aspect of this early period in Jessica's life was the foundation of her belief that nothing was impossible for her. Her family and surroundings supported her not only to overcome physical challenges, but also to discover her inner strength. Although Jessica was born without arms, it was the determination in her soul that would truly grant her freedom and power. One of the greatest challenges in Jessica's life was being born without arms. During her childhood, she faced the reality that everything was a little more difficult. As a child without arms, even the simplest activities required a significant effort. However, this challenge fueled Jessica's determination and perseverance. With the support of her family and her inner willpower, she not only fought physical obstacles but also achieved a new success every day. Walking is a basic skill that every child must learn. But for Jessica, learning this skill required much more effort than other children. Without arms, the challenges of maintaining balance and coordinating her body were more pronounced. But with each fall, she learned to rise again. Every step was a victory. Although she fell at first, instead of giving up, she learned to stand up stronger. She learned to maintain balance using her feet and to get up with her feet when she fell. These small but significant successes fueled her passion for life. Writing, which is a learning stage for most children, was a challenge for Jessica. Without arms, she had to learn to write by holding the pen with her feet. She struggled at first, but with each passing day, she improved. At first, the letters she wrote were misshaped, but she practiced without giving up. Over time, she mastered writing with her feet. The challenges she faced while writing also gave her a much stronger, observational ability to explore the world through others' eyes. Not only did she learn to write, but she also learned to use her feet like hands when playing games with other children, helping her friends, and doing daily tasks. Eating, which is generally an enjoyable activity for children, was another challenge for Jessica. Without arms, eating could have been quite difficult, but Jessica always looked for ways to overcome such challenges. She learned to use her feet to skillfully handle the plate, knife, and fork. Although it was slow and challenging at first, over time, this skill became second nature to her. Every movement of her feet, which replaced her hands, brought her one step closer to independence. When she managed to eat on her own, the feeling of freedom made Jessica an even braver person. During this period of her life, Jessica's determination and willpower to overcome obstacles were at the forefront of everything. The fact that she was born without arms not only caused her physical challenges but also led to mental and emotional struggles. However, she possessed a strong will, which helped her realize that obstacles were not only surmountable, but that each one also presented an opportunity. Every new challenge contributed to her becoming a stronger individual. Jessica viewed every difficulty, every barrier, as a stepping stone. One of the best examples of this was Jessica's social relationships. Many children struggled to adjust to her situation because they had difficulty interacting with her in the way they were used to. However, Jessica never stopped making friends. She showed them how to have fun and play games without arms. Although the children noticed that she was different, Jessica helped them gain not only physical independence but also emotional independence. She demonstrated to everyone that obstacles not only offer opportunities to overcome physical boundaries, but also to break mental limitations. Jessica's strong will and determination became the keys to her success in every area of life. Everything she learned during this period became the foundation for the big dreams she aimed to achieve in the years to come. The absence of her arms, while a physical challenge, became an opportunity that empowered her both mentally and emotionally. As she overcame these obstacles, she continued her path with even more determination and resolve. This process helped Jessica build her own freedom and independence, giving her the strength to face other challenges in life. One of the turning points in Jessica Cox's life was discovering her interest in airplanes at a young age. From her childhood, Jessica's inner desire for freedom constantly encouraged her to take one step further. Like other children, Jessica was captivated by the allure of flying in the sky and dancing with the wind. However, her interest was not just a hobby. For her, flying represented a sense of freedom and control. In a world where she thought she could do nothing on her own because of her lack of arms, the sense of freedom that flying could offer her had a different meaning. At a young age, she realized how airplanes worked and how fascinating and liberating flight could be. Airplanes gave her a sense of control, and while soaring through the air, she felt as though she was moving independently of the entire world. Flying was not just a physical experience, it was a form of mental relaxation and self-expression. Like a bird in flight, having unlimited freedom in the sky instilled in her the belief that anything was possible. However, Jessica's dream seemed impossible to most people. For a woman, and especially for someone born without arms, flying was considered extremely challenging. Controlling an airplane was typically a task done with hands, and for someone without arms, this task appeared nearly unreachable. Many people believed that Jessica could never turn this dream into reality. Many in her environment were skeptical that she could receive flight training and become a pilot. However, for Jessica, such limitations were simply the thoughts of others. To her, everything had a way. Jessica's determination gave her a different perspective on achieving her dreams. She believed that she could fly even without arms, and she decided to take the steps necessary to reach this goal. Jessica was not only determined to learn how to control airplanes, but also how to master them. Instead of abandoning her dream, she began to create a roadmap to follow it. This decision would become one of the boldest steps of her life. The first step was to start researching flight training. Traditional flight training usually required the use of hands, but Jessica began searching for ways to overcome this obstacle. She believed that she could use her feet to control the airplane, and she started taking steps toward this goal. At first, the skepticism of others only motivated her more. She believed that every barrier could be overcome, and this belief guided her to flight school. Jessica's passion for airplanes marked the beginning of a journey that would change her life. Her determination to turn her childhood dream into reality put her on a path, and at the end of that path lay great success. Becoming a pilot without arms would be not only a physical victory, but also a mental and emotional triumph. Jessica embarked on this journey to show the world that the only things needed to turn her dream into reality were determination and perseverance. Jessica Cox's dream of flying led her to take a bold step without acknowledging any obstacles. Her passion for airplanes and her determination to improve in this field eventually pushed her to research flight schools. However, pursuing flight training required her to overcome not just physical barriers, but also the ingrained thinking of society and those around her. At that time, the idea of someone without arms being able to fly seemed almost impossible to most people. Despite the skeptical views of those around her, Jessica never lost her determination. Even when she realized how much people judged her, she was able to stay focused on her goals. While imagining a person without arms flying seemed hard for most, Jessica decided to pursue her dream and make it a reality. When she knocked on the doors of flight schools at first, the instructors and school officials were also doubtful. The idea of someone without arms controlling an airplane didn't fit with their usual perspective of flight training. At the first schools Jessica applied to, instructors were eager to see her, but they had their doubts. People were aware that, before starting flight training, most pilots needed to use their hands to control the airplane. To them, controlling an aircraft with her feet seemed like an impossible task. But Jessica was determined to overcome this obstacle. She couldn't use her arms, but that hadn't affected her determination to gain freedom. Her ultimate goal was to experience the freedom of flight. When she began flight training, Jessica started to develop the skill of controlling the airplane with her feet. Initially, this process was far from easy. Many instructors approached it with skepticism, but Jessica's determination and perseverance gave her the strength to reach this goal. Every flight gave her a new experience. At first, learning the physical controls of the aircraft meant confronting the challenges that others found natural and easy, but Jessica felt that these difficulties only made her stronger. As she began controlling airplanes with her feet, she started to feel the sense of freedom more deeply. The greatest challenge during her flight training was integrating her feet into the airplane's controls. Her feet were delicate organs that required a high degree of sensitivity and precision to control the airplane properly. Each time it took immense focus to control the direction, speed, altitude, and other critical parameters with her feet. However, with each challenge, Jessica practiced more, never giving up, and eventually developed all the skills necessary to control the flight. Flying with her feet allowed Jessica to develop her unique abilities. What was ordinary for others required different methods and pathways for her. She chose to use her feet instead of her hands to fly. Every hour spent in flight training made her feel the freedom of flying more and more, while simultaneously equipping her to become a pilot. Doing what others easily do became a sign of her determination and the road to success. With every new flight, she progressed, overcoming every barrier more bravely. As her instructors began to witness Jessica's determination and skills, their initial doubts transformed into respect. Many people who once could not believe that someone without arms could fly began to understand the value of her struggle to make her dream come true as they saw her flight abilities. Jessica's patience, determination, and trust in her instructors provided her with a great advantage during her flight training. This process not only helped her overcome physical obstacles, but also empowered her psychologically and emotionally. While flying, she felt free, and as she soared through the sky, she discovered that her limits didn't exist. During her flight training, Jessica also pushed the boundaries of her abilities, making progress with every step. Flying without arms was not just a physical challenge, but also a mental one. However, with every flight, Jessica overcame both physical and mental barriers, discovering just how liberating and empowering the experience of flying could be. The skills she gained during the training not only gave her an identity as a pilot, but also gave her the ability to take complete control of her life. Jessica's flight training was one of the most important steps on her path to making her dream a reality. The instructors and other students, with increasing respect for her abilities, recognized that Jessica not only overcame obstacles, but also pushed her limits to achieve great success. The flight training process not only equipped her with technical knowledge, but also laid a solid foundation for her self-confidence, freedom, and success. With every flight she took toward the sky, Jessica was showing that she could overcome not only her own barriers, but all the obstacles in the world. The year 2008 was a pivotal moment in Jessica Cox's life. It was the year she turned her dream into a reality, achieving a globally impactful success. As the first woman without arms to become a pilot, the moment she made history was not just transformative for her life, but also had a profound impact on the lives of disabled individuals worldwide. Jessica's historic achievement went beyond overcoming a physical limitation. Her struggle showed people that obstacles are not only challenges, but also opportunities to challenge oneself and draw strength from these challenges. Jessica's journey to this great success was the result of years of determination and perseverance. The challenges, skeptical looks, and seemingly impossible barriers she faced during flight training never stopped her. With every step, she achieved things she once thought were impossible. Her passion for flight led her to the point where she could control airplanes with her feet. For Jessica, controlling an airplane with her feet was much more than an experience. It was about pushing the limits of what a person without arms could achieve in life. However, learning to fly was not limited to acquiring technical skills. During this process, Jessica developed her self-confidence, determination, and perseverance. Before starting her flight training, most people thought her dream would never come true. The belief that it was impossible for a woman, especially someone without arms, to fly was widespread. But Jessica challenged every one of these barriers, and by overcoming each one, she finally succeeded in flying. In 2008, Jessica's ability to control airplanes became a symbol not only of her skill as a pilot, but also of the power of the human spirit. Jessica's historic moment took shape in the early months of 2008, when she completed her first official flight as a licensed pilot. By earning her flight license, she became the world's first woman without arms to fly. This was not just a personal achievement. Jessica's struggle and perseverance became a great source of inspiration for all disabled individuals. Her success highlighted the importance of overcoming not just physical but also mental and emotional barriers. Being able to control an airplane without arms was not just a physical triumph for Jessica. It was a testament to her stance against life's challenges, her perseverance, and her belief that anything is possible. This historic moment resonated across the globe. News broadcasts, magazines, and television programs shared her success story, inspiring many people. Numerous disabled individuals saw the struggles and determination Jessica faced in realizing her dream and found the courage to take bigger steps in their own lives. Jessica's success was the strongest proof that overcoming obstacles involves not only breaking physical limitations but also overcoming the mental barriers society and individuals build for themselves. This great success opened a new chapter in Jessica's life. She was now a figure inspiring positive change not only in her own life but also around the world. As a flight instructor, she traveled the world, sharing the message that obstacles do not limit people. Instead, they can make them stronger. She gave speeches, held seminars, and guided those who wished to walk the same path. Her success and determination in controlling airplanes inspired not only the world of aviation, but also gave hope to those facing all kinds of obstacles in life. Jessica's moment of making history not only transformed her life, but also changed the perspective of many people worldwide. Becoming a female pilot without arms became a symbol of a dream coming true. This moment shouted to the world that with determination, perseverance, and belief, any barrier can be overcome. Jessica's life showed that what was once deemed impossible can actually be achieved, and her success was just the beginning for disabled individuals. Her story became a source of hope for every individual fighting against any obstacle and continuing with determination. The moment Jessica Cox made history wasn't just about flying. It became an epic written in the name of freedom, perseverance, and the power of the human spirit. Her story carries a meaning far deeper than just overcoming a barrier. It shows that no matter what happens in life, the path to success by breaking through boundaries is always open. Today, Jessica Cox is not only known as a flight instructor and motivational speaker, but also as a figure who inspires the world on how obstacles can be overcome. Her story of how flying without arms changed her life and helped her regain her freedom carries a hopeful message, not only for individuals with disabilities but for everyone. What Jessica has achieved is a powerful example of how physical limitations can be overcome with mental and emotional resilience, showing the world that with determination and perseverance nothing is impossible. Jessica's life is proof that what many consider impossible can actually be made possible through determination. Flying without arms was once just a dream for her. However, through her determination, willpower, and constant effort, this dream became a reality. Not only did she learn to fly, but she also found a way to overcome obstacles, inspire others, and give them courage. Flying without arms not only brought her personal freedom, but also sent a message to the world. What you can truly achieve depends not on the obstacles, but on how you approach them. This message remains one of the greatest sources of motivation today. Jessica decided to use her success as a turning point, not just in her own life but for individuals with disabilities. Today she travels the world giving speeches, teaching people not just how to achieve their dreams, but also how to overcome obstacles. In each of her speeches, she emphasizes that every obstacle actually presents a new opportunity, and that the challenges we face in life are only temporary. When disabled individuals listen to her story, they begin to realize the tremendous potential their abilities hold, despite the limitations society often places on them. One of the strongest messages in Jessica's speeches is that obstacles try to limit people not only physically, but also emotionally and mentally. When telling her story, she explains that obstacles are essentially a matter of the mind, and that the real barrier lies in one's own mind. Jessica stresses that overcoming an obstacle is not just a physical victory, but also a mental and emotional one. Her message to everyone is that they should not shape their lives based solely on the obstacles they face. How we approach obstacles, challenge them, and overcome them are key elements to success. As a pilot who learned to fly without arms, Jessica became an inspiration not only in the world of aviation, but also in the business world. Business leaders, team-oriented groups, young people, the elderly, and individuals with disabilities all admired her strong stance and determination to overcome barriers. As a pilot, Jessica teaches not only flight skills, but also core values, such as leadership, self-discipline, confidence, and perseverance, which are essential for success in life. In every speech, she encourages people to move forward with greater strength and empowers them to discover their own potential. Jessica's life also serves as an example, encouraging people to see obstacles as opportunities. She believes that every obstacle should not be viewed as a hindrance but rather as an opportunity to overcome. Just as she succeeded in flying without arms, she demonstrates how any obstacle can provide immense potential for growth. Her story carries an important message for not just individuals with disabilities but society as a whole. No matter how big the challenge, it can always be overcome with determination and perseverance. Jessica's inspiring story represents much more than just flying without arms. Her journey shows how important it is to dream and work determinedly to turn those dreams into reality. Flying without arms is not just a physical achievement for her, but also a symbol of perseverance, freedom, and inner strength. Today, Jessica emphasizes through her talks around the world that dreamers must go beyond dreaming. They must take courageous action to make their dreams come true. Her story shows that no matter what, the path to overcoming boundaries and turning obstacles into opportunities is always open. Jessica's success should serve as a reminder to everyone. What you can truly achieve depends not on what obstacles you face, but how you approach them and how determined you are. This message applies not only to individuals with disabilities, but to all of us. Jessica Cox's life declares to the world that nothing is impossible, and that any obstacle can be overcome with personal strength.